Hello dear viewers and welcome to a new episode on the State and Society in the Arabian Gulf series on the Lexis and Arabia and Beyond channel. Today's episode is going to be about the relationship between the Salafist scholars and the Saudi state. Why is this topic important? Well, if you have diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia, it is useful to have knowledge about the various methods of thinking within the Salafist faith which is prevalent there. Today's episode is also a preparation for our next book review on the Lexis and Arabia and Beyond channel about a book by Sebastian Sons called Built on Sand. It's a German book called Auf Sand gebaut. Today we're going to examine the relations between the various strands of the Saudi clergy and the Saudi state. The religious scholars provide the legitimacy for the ruling family and unify the various Arab tribes. The ruling family, on the other hand, provides a state structure in which the scholars can exercise their influence over society. But has this cooperation always been successful? History of the Saudi kingdoms. History saw 3 attempts to establish a Saudi state, with the first one failing as it did not have all the necessary elements of a state structure. It was also destroyed by the Egyptians because pilgrims to Mecca faced harassment. The second Saudi state became victim of an internal power struggle between the Saudi sons, in which even the Ottoman army was called in to assist. In the third Saudi state, scholars abstained from politics and became junior partners to the ruling family, while still retaining the right for criticism, such as because of the influx of foreigners and because of the moral corruption of society. Different forms of Saudi Salafism. Just like people have different methods of understanding their faith, religious scholars differ in their opinions on various subjects. There are also disputes amongst Western academics as to how uncompromising the Salafist faith is to other religions and ideologies. While some Salafist scholars focus mainly on the spiritual aspect of their faith in a peaceful manner and separate religion and politics, some strive to achieve religious political aims through peaceful means, while others prefer armed struggle to achieve their aims. Scholars will also hold different opinions on how Salafism should interact with the state structures. Some will be more conservative, some will call for a certain number of reforms, while still clinging to conservative values, and some will demand a wide range of reforms which will go too far too soon for others. One can divide the Saudi political arena into roughly 3 sections. First, there is the Saudi Islamic-Liberal movement, which considered itself to be a response to Arab nationalism and Marxism. One of their aims was to reverse the fossilization of Islam and to make its interpretation less restrictive and more practicable in the modern world. The Sahwa movement, for example, was supported and drew its base from the employees of state institutions. Its aim was to raise awareness for social and cultural issues, which helped it to draw huge support from the masses and was even willing to enter into alliances with the Shia communities. Despite all this, they still remained opposed to secularization and the American presence in the country. The Hardliners drew their support from many who work in private enterprises and who have uncompromising opinions in their interactions with others. Stuck between these two are the liberals with a more modern international approach who want even more reforms and strive for a compromise between modernity, democratic values and Islam, but who suffer from internal divisions. Summary. In order to understand Saudi Arabia better, one must avoid generalizing the various Salafist movements as they differ vastly from one another. Some scholars are also much more open to change and modernity than others. Knowing more about the different approaches within Salafism remains essential to understanding the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia better and being able to interact with it. Our next book will be Sebastian Sons' Built on Sand, in which we will discover just how diverse and varied Saudi society is. So I hope you found this episode informative. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.